What up, Blockheads? Today we are going to be installing some frame sliders, fork sliders, and rear spools on the CBR1000RR. Alright, so as you guys know, I recently purchased the CBR1000RR and it is pretty much bone stock. The only thing that's not stock on this bike are the bar ends. So basically, first thing I'm going to be doing is protecting the bike. So we're going to be installing some protection options, which, like I just said, are going to be frame sliders, fork sliders, and then some spools, rear spools as well. I do have some bar ends that I ordered some new ones, but these will probably suffice, so I'll go ahead and leave those on there. We did receive a package from TST Industries. I've been speaking with Mark over at TST Industries, and they have agreed to basically help me out with the build. So this episode is brought to you guys by TST Industries. I actually got that keychain last time around from them. So they're a company that's local here, just north of Orlando, and they manufacture parts for motorcycles for quite a number of bikes, sport bikes usually. So hope you enjoy your new ride and your new parts, Blockhead. Ride safe out there, man. TST. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. All right, so let's see what we got here. Oh, we got some stickers. We're going to be installing a bunch of parts, but like I said, this time around, we're going to be installing the protection pack, or what they call the protection pack. But later on, I do have a fender eliminator, so we're going to be installing that. We have the license plate light and a LED like flasher relay. But for this time around, we have some of these what are these, rear spools? Yeah, the spool sliders, bar ends, which those look pretty good. I might just install those. We have, that is the integrated taillight, which we'll be installing as well. These are the frame sliders, and then we have the front sliders as well. Yeah, the fork sliders. So, awesome. So yeah, once again, big thanks to TST Industries for helping out with the build here. If you guys are interested in any other parts, you all can find their website right here. Got an awesome selection of parts. Like I said, I ordered some protection for the bike. I'm going to be ordering an exhaust from them later as well. We got the fender eliminator. We got the fender closeout. Just tons of stuff. So looking forward to getting all that on. But first things first, we'll go ahead and start out easy and install the spools, the rear spools. Super easy to install these things. They're going to go right there. And we're going to put some Loctite on them, put them in, wrench them down, and be good to go. Alright, it's super easy to install the spools. Now what that does, obviously, if you go down it protects the back, but it also allows you to use the lift and put that right there like that and raise up the rear. So it's super useful. Definitely one of the first things you should get for a bike, sport bike. Right, so next up we're going to be putting on the fork protector kit. But first, Uncrustable. Alright, so now we are going to do the fork sliders, which are right here. You guys can see a diagram of how they're set up, just like that. So we're going to need that. Go ahead and take all this stuff out of here. Alright, nice. What you're going to do, since this is a closed off bolt, and this is a open bolt, we're going to remove this one. We're going to replace it with this one here. Alright, so we're just going to hand thread that in for now. It says do not over tighten more than 45 Newton meters, and that'll damage the bolt. So that converts to about 33.19 foot-pounds. So we're going to adjust this torque wrench to that. All right, so that one's right on there. We're not going to tighten it down all the way right now, though. Wow, it's actually not scratched up. That's awesome. All right, so we do have that ran through there now, so we're going to need to hold one end while obviously tightening down the other end. Loctited, everything's run, lined up, looks good. All right, there you have it. Fork sliders installed, and they look good. These ones come with these little stickers. So if you guys want to put those little stickers in there and change the color of it, you can do it to white or red. I might do red. Yeah, I'll probably just leave them black. Those are easy. All right, now the more difficult part. All right, so for the frame sliders, it does call for cutting into the fairings. That's risky business, but we're gonna go ahead and do it. So in order to do that, I need to take the fairings off. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I actually have to run to Home Depot in order to buy the drill bit piece. It is cut the hole 28 millimeters in diameter. So tools needed. It says you need a 28 millimeter circular cutter. Cool, so I'm gonna go buy that real quick before Home Depot closes. BRB. This doesn't have anything to do with the install video, but I'm going to Home Depot to buy the drill piece that I need to cut through the fairings, and apparently a semi hit one of the overpasses on the interstate here, so I don't know if it caused it to collapse or something, but traffic is crazy and they're diverting all the traffic over to these little side roads, which is all that traffic there coming off the interstate. And this red light has been red for like 10 minutes. Sucks. Quite the lengthy trip, but went and picked these up from Home Depot. So let's go ahead and figure out how to get the fairings off. Undid a bolt here, undid a bolt here. From the bottom here, you actually just kind of pull forward. It's up. And it comes off like that. Crazy how much easier it is to get these ones off versus the R6. So you got a Phillips in here. We got the fairing removed. Super easy to remove the fairings on the CBR1000RR. Just bolt there, and then it pretty much just snaps into place along the bottom and the tops, and then is held on by that bolt right there in that little spot. Pretty awesome. So much easier than the R6 fairings. We have to take out that bolt for the engine mount right there, which I've already taken it out. I put the stock one back in though, because here's what we're gonna do. TST Industries usually gives you a template that you can set on the back of the fairing to find exactly where the hole goes. Unfortunately with this, they don't have a template for the CBR1000RR. So what I'm gonna do here is I put the stock bolt back in so that it doesn't protrude as much. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just zip tie the fairing here. I already stuck it back in, lined it up right there. So now I know that bolt is right here, right? Like I can feel it with my finger. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a stud finder to basically lock onto that bolt. It's like right there, which kind of sucks. It's like right on the edge of the fairing, you know. It does require a 28 millimeter hole, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill a small little pilot hole first, just to make sure that we're on. Alright, so I've got it marked in a couple spots. Pretty much tell the bolt is right there. What I'm going to do is while the fairing is on there, I'm actually going to drill a pilot hole to see where we're at. There's nothing behind it. right, you see the bolt back there? Basically what it is, I started with a very small drill bit, worked my way up, and then ended on a 1/4 inch. Marked the area, and I've slowly been drilling larger and larger and larger. And each time I look in there, you guys can't really see it, just to make sure that I'm lined up with the bolt. So what I'm gonna do is, I can tell right now I am kind of low right on it. So I'm gonna start going up this direction. I'll probably get a Dremel out too. Got the hole in there, I slowly drilled it out little by little, and then I went ahead and used a 25mm, slowly made it larger and larger. I then took a Dremel, sanded down the edges. There was one little nick right here. I should have put some painter's tape over it. I'll try painter's tape for the next side so it won't nick like that. But this piece fits perfectly. All right, so I got the fairing back on for the most part. It is attached there, up there, and the bolts are in, or the little screws are in the front. Spacer for the engine mount obviously comes off whenever you pull the stock bolt out. And so now we're going to basically be replacing it with this bolt here. So we need to get the engine mount back up in there, right? So I'm gonna finagle it, get it back up in between the frame and the engine. And then we are going to basically put the frame slider on there in this configuration. All right, we got that somewhat lined up. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add this bolt in the back in, and then tighten that one down. All right, so that is hand tightened, but there is a torque spec on it. 40 Newton meters is about, it's about 29.5 foot-pounds, so we're at about 30 foot-pounds. So we're gonna adjust the torque wrench to that. And that's it. That is the right frame slider. Inside of that, they do give you these little caps. You have the logo in there, so basically place that right in there. That's it. That is how you install that frame slider, and now we just got to do the one on the left side. It's a little scary when you're first, cutting the fairings, but it's really actually very nice. I'm surprised. Hell yeah. All right. Had to clean up all the, had to clean up the lift, All right, so there you have it, guys. That is how you install the Wamatech Crash Protection Pack Level 1 from TST Industries. Just as a heads up for this fairing, as you guys probably could have seen, I didn't even take it off. I pulled it out and I could pretty much see where the engine mount bolt was. And then I drilled it out with a little hole, slowly, gradually made it bigger and bigger to where it was centered up. If you guys want to take that risk, that's entirely up to you. It did mount up pretty well. There is a little bit more on the bottom than the other side, but it's really not that big a deal at all, but entirely up to you guys. These things are solid. They go right into the engine mounts. So got the fork sliders done, frame sliders done, bar ends, and the spools. Bar ends are super easy, even though I'm not installing the Wamatech ones on there. You're just gonna take out the bolt, which is an Allen, and then take those off, the weighted bar ends, and then put the new ones on there. Super easy stuff. Anyways, so that's how you install it. The fork sliders and the spools in the rear and the bar ends are super quick and easy. The frame sliders do take a little bit of time, just because you have to take your time in cutting through the fairing, because you don't want to mess up. So, but that's they came out pretty good. I like them a lot. They look very good. Anyways, thanks once again to TST Industries for the quality products. If you guys are interested in any parts for your sport bike, you guys can check out TST Industries at the link right here on the screen. If you guys have just gotten a sport bike, they pretty much have everything you need to start to customize it, from the protection packs like the frame sliders, fork sliders. They've got, you know, fender eliminator, they've got the block off plate. I used them recently, or for my previous bike, the R6, which came out really good. Quality parts from these guys, and like I said, they're local to me here in Florida. So if you guys have any questions on the install, be sure to post up your questions in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you guys aren't subscribed already, be sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. Until next time, you guys ride safe out there. Stay vigilant. And I will catch y'all later. Deuces.